What's up, YouTube? It's your girl, Beta from the Burbs here, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here and you enjoy anything from food, beauty, good music, and commentary about things ranging from pop culture, mental health, relationships, fitness, girl, all of that and in between, then I suggest you click that subscribe button so you can join the gang and hang out with us a little bit more often. And today's video is going to be a commentary video, and we're going to be getting into it, okay? So this is going to be a longer one, okay? You need to get a snack, grab a drink, roll up some oregano, do what you do, okay? Whatever your vice is, bring it with you, okay? Because this is going to stress you out. I hope that it doesn't stress you out as much as it stressed me out, but it's going to stress you a little bit. We're getting into Miss Dana Chanel and Prince Donnell. I don't know if you've heard of them, but I'm going to tell you everything about who they are. We're going to be talking about the scandal that they have going on right now. And I want to kind of expand the conversation and get to the root of the issue. You know what I'm saying? You know how your grandma be like, we need to get to the root of the issue. We need to get to the roots of this issue, which is the deception and disgrace perpetuated by these godly gurus who monetize and manipulate Black people under the guise of Christianity to satisfy their own greed and selfish motivations. Yeah, baby, I thought about that. I do want to give a little disclaimer and say that this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only, okay? No hate to any of the parties involved, as this is none of my business, but all of my opinion. And before we get into the bad seeds of the Black business community, I would like to send you to someone reputable. If you are someone who is starting a brand, who needs a logo, who is trying to set up a website or anything of the sort, if you need an illustrator or anything, I have a good friend named Kayla Burden who owns Pyramid Visions, which is her graphic design company. It's based out of Atlanta, Georgia, and I would really advise you to hit them up. She has done some amazing designs for me, and it's like whatever is in your brain, if you don't know, go to Kayla, okay? Because she's going to give it to you. She's going to give you more than what you bargained for, okay? Getting straight into the video now, I feel like I have to tell you guys who Prince Donnell and Dana Chanel are, for those of you who don't know. And if I'm looking down, I'm looking at my notes, because there are a lot of them, honey. We were giving essay. Outline, okay? We're learning. Yeah, she's 26 years old, from Philadelphia. She's an entrepreneur and social media Christian guru. I know you have seen her videos on your timeline on Instagram at least once, because there was a time period where she was all over my feed. And you know how someone just gives you vibes and they're unfounded. You don't have a reason for those vibes, so you never speak on them. But I got vibes from her from the beginning. All of her videos, the way she just came across to me was very nice, nasty. It was giving more nasty than nice, you know what I'm saying? She owns the Curl Bible, which is some of the advertisements that I would see. It's a natural hair care, skin care, and beauty line. I'm not sure what her background is that like gave her the credentials to start that kind of line, but I do want to let y'all know that before you start buying skincare and hair care from influencers on social media, I really advise you to do your research on their background to figure out what kind of science is behind the product, you know what I'm saying? Just don't be buying stuff because it's marketed good. Don't be a sucker. Anyway, she also owns Sprinkle of Jesus. I know a lot of people who used to use this app. It's basically like they send you notifications of inspirational quotes. It's a Christian-based app. It's an online ministry. That's how they describe it. And it gives you access to inspirational content, as well as provides a place to interact with each other. And you can also have weekly courses and how-to tips to get closer to Christ. These seem like Christian-based people, right? Okay, keep that in mind. She also owns Alakazam, or they also partner with Alakazam Apps. They do not own this company. I think that that's a misconception that they are the owner of Alakazam Apps. They are just like ambassadors for the app. Alakazam Apps is a mobile app builder for small businesses. So basically, like, you would pay them and you would get access to a small business consultant who help you with strategies and techniques to create business success and think smarter about your business. That's what it's supposed to do. They even have Dana Chanel named on their website as someone that they exclusively work with. So she is affiliated with the company. Her and her husband were also doing like motivational videos on like marriage and relationships and entrepreneurship. The videos just come across really pretentious. It comes across as somebody who knows it all, somebody who you must listen to, who must have the keys. And they do it under the guise of Christianity. As we are this faith-based company, God is leading us. That is why you should trust us, okay? They are preying on people's naivety. Let's get into Prince Donnell, though, because that was about Dana. Prince Donnell is Dana Chanel's husband. I think they have been married for like 2 or 3 years. It hasn't been very long for them to give marriage advice. But anyway, He is 24 years old. We are the same age. When I was doing my research on this video and I saw that we were the same age, I was like, damn, you're too old for the bullshit. Prince Donnell's business was Jumping Jack Taxes. So he opened like a tax preparation business and basically like a tax preparation MLM, to be honest. Like they give you the opportunity to open your own office and be your own boss and help other people, save their lives, and financial freedom. All huge buzzwords, red flags for me. Opportunity means running the other way. You got to pay. That's what it means. And really, it is $5,000 for you to open your own tax office. And you don't have to have any experience in tax preparation, because neither does Prince Donnell. Red flag. Whenever there's no barrier of entry, whenever I don't have to have any type of credentials to do something as serious as tax preparation, okay. And allegedly, he stole that idea from his best friend. Okay, but let me tell you what happened and why all of this even matters, why it's a thing right now. So Dana Chanel and Prince Donnell are being accused by their customers of scamming them out of their coin, friend. They are accused of scamming multiple Black entrepreneurs out of their money through Alakazam apps, through Jumping Jack Taxes, because what they do is they have monthly fees for those services, and basically like they don't stop charging you. And when you try to get in contact with them to stop the charges or to stop the services, they get hard to reach. But in the beginning, when you're telling them about your business, especially with the Alakazam apps, there are tons of videos of on YouTube of people who participated in Jumping Jack Taxes and who participated in Alakazam apps and saw no return on their investment. I'm gonna put some of the video links in the description if you wanna go back and look at them and see what they actually said. But basically, they talk to you all through the process in order to get you to give them your coin. And then once you give them your coin and it's time to actually build the app and it's time to actually build the tax preparation business, they ghost. There's even a change.org petition against these people. And at the time that I wrote this outline, it was 1,965 signatures out of 2,500 needed, I guess, for them to go forward. They're trying to get the FTC or the FBI, somebody in the alphabet letter gang, they're trying to get them to investigate them so that these people can be redeemed and get their money back. I'm reading straight from the change.org thing so that you can hear what they're doing. So, this says that they have stolen money from customers interested in building an app. They give you a stellar consult, and then once they get the initial money and work begins, the true service comes to light. You have no say-so in the actual design of the app, no say in the features. Your calls begin to be limited or ignored. Meanwhile, you are charged on a regular basis. They taking these people coin on a regular basis. When you ask to cancel, you are ignored. They make sure to do everything over the phone to reduce the paper trail. And when they are doing the paper trail, they are not even signing these documents with their legal name. Dana Chanel and Prince Donnell are not even their real name, friend. Also have stolen money from customers of their credit repair agency. They begin with the ridiculous promise of raising your credit score hundreds of points within a 3 to 5 month period. Any adult here knows that is very difficult, even though their contract says differently, for a monthly fee. Many have seen no change in their credit report, and if there was anything that comes off, it comes back on within a few weeks. Mind you, because these people are not certified or educated or credible, they don't have any real experience in tax preparation. These are just people trying to get that coin. They're trying to get the bag the quick way. Fast money is don't last money. Have y'all ever heard that? Or did I just make that up? When confronted about their unethical practices and asked for any kind of cancellation or refund, their defense is always to ignore. They literally ghost these people after they take large sums of money from them. And these people are expecting some type of service, whether it's an app, whether it's tax preparation. They do not get what they pay for. And if you go on, there's like a whole page dedicated to the scam. It's called, I think that the Dana Chanel, the scammer page got shut down. But this one is called like the Scammer Graveyard. I'm gonna put the link. But they have so many receipts of people sending in. They're trying to make contact with Dana Chanel, trying to make contact with Dana Chanel's father, who also is really entangled in their business dealings. He is like their business manager, I think. So a lot of people have dealt with him personally, and he's hard to get in contact with. And all this is alleged. It hasn't been necessarily proven. But with this many receipts, come on now. They have used the guise of Christianity and faith to manipulate and exploit their unsuspecting followers who just simply liked them or believed in them or just wanted to support them. They used the fact that they were Christian to say, hey, trust me, I'm godly. Your money is good with me. They framed it in the way of like a blessing because everybody wants to be blessed, right? So if I frame this opportunity as a blessing, if I frame this business opportunity as a blessing, it's going to make you want to do it, especially if I'm Christian and I'm telling you that this is a good thing. People tend to associate Christianity with good character, and they're not mutually exclusive. They also have grossly inflated their financial success. Over 90% of their business dealings have been illegal because they make it seem like they're these successful entrepreneurs, but when you're doing it on the backs of manipulating people in your own community, you are not successful. That is fraud. People think that Christians are stupid. Let me tell you what I mean by that. People think that you will blindly follow anyone who deems themselves godly or anyone who attaches themselves to Christianity because you associate it with good character. You associate it with good people, with love, with care, with fruits of the Spirit, right? And let's look at the fruits of the Spirit, honey. The fruits of the Spirit, according to Galatians 5:22-23, is love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. All things that Dana Chanel and Prince Donnell did not exhibit. And let me give you exhibit A.
Here and tell y'all that every single person that's claiming allegations online of us scamming the community, but every single person that's sitting here, I'm not going to tell you that every single one of them is lying.
Have people to point fingers at. And so we just want to encourage you as we continue to, go through this. We only want to talk to you and desire to go. We're not going to go to Instagram court. You won't see us fighting or arguing with anyone. We're real entrepreneurs who follow the business the way that it's supposed to be done. And if anybody has a discrepancy, they can go ahead and follow the proper way. We like literally, it's okay. Like we understand that not everybody's going to be happy. And it's almost in a sense where it's so personal that maybe it's someone who couldn't afford the opportunity.
I will address these in a more professional way.
Yeah.
So with that being said, there were indeed failures on our part that we have innovated beyond that to make sure that our customers are more satisfied. And number one is customer service. I will sit here and tell y'all every day of the week that during that time, our customer service may not have been the best. In fact, our customer service wasn't the best. Why? Because at the time of us growing, we still were trying to make up for customer service and hiring more.
Okay, so as I'm sitting and editing this Dana Chanel video, and I just rewatched the clip of her and Prince Donnell talking about all of the allegations, and if you pay attention to how they approach that situation so differently, like as individuals, Prince Donnell was trying his best to be professional about it. Dana Chanel definitely gave off a I don't care, take me to court type of attitude, because if you are the owner of a business and you know that you have disgruntled customers who have had negative experiences, you should do your best to solve those issues, to reconcile those problems and retain those customers, to retain their business. But the way she's talking is like, I already got your money, sis. So if you have a problem, take the legal action and take me to court, because I'm not going to do the right thing on my own. I'm going to need a judge to tell me to give you your money back. And Prince Donnell was quick to stop her and say, and this is not to say that he's innocent in all of this, because he is a grown-ass man, but I do think that Dana Chanel is the catalyst. I think that she is the mastermind, if you will, and I do think that she uses him. I think that she uses the image of marriage. I think that she thinks that he's stupid, and you can just see that in the way that they interact. People are not dumb. People know that Christianity is a huge backbone in the Black community. It's a soft point. It's a weak point when you're talking about Black Christians, and they will support other Black Christians blindly most of the time. They are preying on that naivety and in hopes that you would just trust them. And I also think that it's funny that when they frame this blessing, when they frame the opportunity to work with them or the opportunity to pay for these apps, when they frame it as a blessing, like this could change your life, you could be like me, when in reality, being like them just means you're scamming people. When they frame it like that, that blessing that they're talking about is usually financial, and they know that people want to get rich. That's just what it is. When people hear that something that you're doing can help them make money, their ears go up like this. Especially, not only can it help me make money, but I can serve the Lord at the same time, or I can support someone who's serving the Lord at the same time. I'm there for it. They don't think twice. And I'm telling you, you need to think twice. Let's talk about the spirit of discernment and what that is. Do y'all know what discernment means? Because I pulled up the definition for you. Discernment is the ability to judge well or identifying the true nature of a thing, such as perceiving whether a thing is good or evil. What I'm saying is somewhere the discernment is lacking, and you can't let your discernment fall to the wayside simply because you want to believe that someone is good or not. You got to figure that thing out. They're counting on the fact that you won't look into what they're really doing. They are depending and are making money off of your ignorance, your willful ignorance at that. When I was listening to the videos of these people talk about their experiences, I felt bad, but at the same time, it was hard for me to a little bit, because I'm like, what did they do that made you confident in giving them that kind of money with no real evidence as to why it will be successful? Where did you get the referral from? Who told you that it worked for them, other than out the mouths of the person who was trying to sell it to you? None of this information is new. All the things that they are offering you are just things that you haven't learned for yourself yet. I feel like people got caught up in their image. They're young, they're beautiful people, they're married, they talk about love and God. They got caught up in the aesthetic and forgot to examine the spirit, because there were many red flags. And when I say many, I mean a whole bunch, a whole lot of red flags. Like the video of Dana Chanel being rude and literally humiliating and belittling one of her employees in front of all of her other employees at like some kind of team meeting. She literally, I'm gonna insert the video. And when I insert this video, it is imperative that you watch the entire thing. I need you to watch the whole thing. I need you to study this woman's demeanor, pay attention to how she was talking to her, the language she was using, the tone she was using, her body language. I want you to watch this, and I dare you to tell me it was nothing wrong with it.
I get a text message randomly from Alicia. I sent Leanne home. She didn't follow directions that we have in place and had a meeting about. Then I get a text message from Leanne. Hi Dana, just letting you know, I left early. Alicia told me to go home for using my phone. I would love for you to explain that situation.
Okay, Friday finished my updates that April had me doing, and I think, sending my invoice, and the email wasn't going through, so I was like trying to see if it was the computer, so I just pulled out my phone to check my email, and then she was like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I was checking my email. So she's like, we spoke about that, right? And I said, yeah, but it just was like a kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but I just like did it off instinct, trying to check, because I thought the computer wasn't working to send my email. And then she was like, okay, put it away. So I put it away. And then I found something else to do. And after, I guess, she sat and thought about it, and she was like, okay, so since we had a meeting about it, just go home. So I was like, okay.
Okay. You are a very young woman, okay? To me, you're still a child. Just trying to figure this stuff out. Just because you're a mom does not mean that you have a certain level of maturity level, and it takes people who actually love and care about you to actually sit you down and say, Leanne, you have to stop for a second. Let's reevaluate, okay? I'm a problem solve with you right now, okay? So the first issue that I have is when someone approaches you about behavior that essentially they're not fond of due to rules or things that you put in place. This wasn't the first time you had a conversation about. The worst thing to do is to find an excuse or any excuse to go ahead and validate your actions to do the very thing you were not supposed to.
Can I comment on that?
No, not yet. And what I mean by that is, at that point in time, because you have failed your team beforehand, uncross your hands. Because you have failed your team beforehand, you being on your phone was defiant to anything, despite any reason. Could you understand how they would feel? That if they saw you on your phone, based off a conversation that they had previously, that they would feel as if you were being disrespectful or defiant after something you guys had already talked about. They didn't have to ask why or what were you doing on the phone. They already felt a certain type of way because you weren't supposed to be doing it. So do you see how from your team, they could greatly assume that it was nothing but defiance. So is that fair for your team to be disappointed? But for you, you're thinking in the back of your mind, oh, but I was just looking at my email. So I understand you're in defense mode at the moment, you know what I mean? Like trying to plead your case. But let's think about our team for a second. Are they allowed to be on defense mode when they saw you on your phone? Are they allowed to be on defense mode as well? Absolutely. And once again, I'm very disappointed that, and once again, I can't handle every situation. I'm not always here, but I'm guessing after the last conversation, the solution was that her phone has to be off during work hours. Very stupid solution. Very idiotic and moronic and very, very disheartening, being as though you are a mother and the situation with your brother. I'd be very disappointed if you were supposed to get a call and you did not get a call. Do you understand what I'm saying? For all of you guys who don't know, her brother's in the hospital, not doing very well. For all of you guys who may not know, she has a child that is being raised by her mother. The fear of her sitting here fixing somebody's credit and someone is dying or something's wrong with her daughter is terrifying. So I apologize that the team failed you in thinking that was a solution, because that was not. But I'm very disappointed that you're losing the trust in your team. Do you understand that? That they do not trust that you as an adult, as a growing adult, because you're not an adult yet to me, to have self-awareness and self-control of when to use your phone or not.
It was something like the employee used her phone to check her email. Apparently, Dana Chanel had already had issues with this employee, maybe excessively using her phone while she was at work. And I feel like if that was the case, there was a much better way to handle this, preferably in private, when you're talking about your boss coming to you about an issue that they have with something that you're doing at work. That is not a conversation to be had in front of the whole office. But proceeding to expose her personal business in front of people, violating all kind of laws, so that you can have some kind of power trip, then you record it and put it online. That is how much you do not care about your employees.
I do not love you guys unconditionally. I don't even love my husband unconditionally. I don't even love my father unconditionally. So I definitely don't love you guys unconditionally.
Period. Because I don't see how you could genuinely care about your employees. If that was a teaching moment, you can teach her in private. You can teach her with love. Not only did this lady compare her to a defiant child and kept calling this grown woman who has children a child on something that wasn't that serious. Checking your email in the office isn't that serious. Dana Chanel, you are not doing rocket science. You ain't saving the world. Her checking her email for 2 seconds was not that big of a deal for you to make it that kind of, you know what I'm saying? For you to have that kind of response. Another red flag. There's also a video of her saying that she never makes mistakes. I'm not a psychologist, okay? But this was giving me a little bit of narcissist. Just a wee bit narcissist. It was giving that. Because as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, you can ask any business owner, they have made mistakes. In fact, they probably would be proud of those mistakes because those mistakes taught them something that aided them in their success. This lady out her mouth doubled down on the fact that she has never made mistakes. She said she doesn't have time for mistakes and she works too hard to make mistakes, and that she is confident in the fact that she does not make mistakes.
Mistake you've made as an entrepreneur so far?
I can't say that I'm perfect. But I can't say there's a mistake that I've made.
Wow. You're
Listen,
searching, you're thinking about it, that's good.
I'm trying,
Yeah.
but you have to remember where I come from. My dad was trying to make money and put food on the table, and he was fighting for his life at the same time. You really think that I'm going to sit here and say that I've made a mistake when I'm 26-year-old and the scariest thing I have to do is go into a room and negotiate with a man about business? What? This is fun. This is a piece of freaking cake. I'm enjoying the ride. Like, I've never felt so excited and exhilarated to wake up going to accomplish something. I don't have mistakes because I'm constantly fighting for the next thing.
More red flags. Prince Donnell done disappeared off of social media. Or so I thought. Okay, so as I'm, putting the clips of my video and stuff while I'm editing, I go and see that Prince Donnell did not disappear. At the time I recorded it, I thought he had disappeared. But friend, I went on his Facebook and he's trying to rebrand. So to me, it seems like they're trying to sweep this whole shit under the rug completely. He's trying to rebrand now. He's no longer Prince Donnell. He is Donnell L. Morris. Same fuck shit, new name. 2 days ago, he posted a 40-minute promotional video for Jumping Jack Taxes, and it only got like 200 likes and 11 comments, which is really low engagement for like their usual posts. We're talking about people who were getting like hundreds of comments, thousands of likes, thousands of shares and stuff. So I think that people have definitely caught on. And this was a way to try to deflect from that. Girl, I have so much to say about the video. First of all, I'm going to have to break it up. 40 minutes talking about this opportunity and giving us a tour of their flagship location in Philadelphia. Okay.
Before we talk about that, I really just wanted to show you around our flagship office. This is one of our brick and mortar locations. Now, yes, Jumping Jack Tax is the #1 and fastest growing virtual tax company in the country, but we do have 3 brick and mortar locations that people can touch and feel and even come in and see one of our tax pros if they need to. So let me show you the uniqueness of our physical locations that are here in Philadelphia before we get into the opportunity. Come on. So let's start here, the living room area, right? Now, this is something that is very unique. This is something that no other tax offices have done. If you've ever been inside of a tax office before, you know it looks really old, shabby. The chairs are fold-out chairs, right? They don't have a couch. They don't have a living room. We wanted to create a family vibe. We wanted you to walk inside of the Jumping Jack Tax location and actually feel like you're in the living room, feel like you're at home. And we created that ambiance through the furniture that's here.
The man is acting like he did something innovative by having a lobby in his office with a couch. And that's supposed to make you feel at home. That's supposed to make you trust these people with your taxes. Then he goes on to talk about all of their tax preparers and how if you wanted your taxes done, that's why they have the brick and mortar locations so that you can come in and see someone in person. When they pan to where the employees are supposed to sit, there is no one there but Dana Chanel and Prince Donnell's mother.
As we continue to move on here, say hello, Dana. So we have, this is our main area where our tax professionals sit. Mom, say hello. She's actually the general manager of all of our flagship locations in Philadelphia. Super knowledgeable when it comes to taxes and the experience. You'll probably hear from her sometime soon. But this is what our office looks like.
He mentions how now they are taking applications because they realize that keeping it too open, that there has to be a barrier of entry because this is an MLM. Don't get it mistaken. It is an MLM. They frame it as an opportunity, as a financial opportunity to change your life, to be your own boss, to create generational wealth, all huge buzzwords. What was interesting to me about the video is he spent literally the first 35 minutes of the video, maybe the first 30 minutes of the video if it was a 40-minute video, talking about the office, how they're apparently the #1 fastest growing virtual tax preparation company in the country. I have yet to confirm that. I will let you know if that's true or not. I don't think it is. I highly doubt that Jumping Jack Taxes is the #1 virtual tax preparation company in the country. I doubt it. He mentions that so many times throughout the video. That is a way to manipulate people into thinking that they're with a reputable company, even though they have given no evidence as to where they're getting this credibility, who deemed them the #1 company. That could be something that somebody down the street said that they was the #1 company. Who said that? What association, what agency gave you that title? They wait until the end of the video to introduce their business model, their pricing structure, and everything that you're gonna have to pay. They never give you specifics on what you are getting. They try to talk really fast, use really vague business jargon by saying very good, we do things very well, we've been around for a long time. $5,000. Do you know what you get with that $5,000? You get your tax preparation license.
And making that $75,000 salary in 4 months, which, by the way, the average salary across the United States of America is somewhere roughly between $40,000, which would mean, I'm almost guessing, that $75,000 will be more than what you're making right now in a 4-month period, and that you will be able to live the entire rest of the year off of all the work that you did in 4 months. And all you need is 300 people to retire yourself. This seems like a pretty good opportunity. How much does it cost to get started? Because I'll be saying the same thing, right? How much does it cost? So let's get down to business here. All right. The initial licensing fee to get started with Jumping Jack Tax is $5,000. That $5,000 needs to be paid in full. We do not offer any payment plans, any arrangements. $5,000 one-time licensing fee. The annual licensing fee. Our annual licensing fee is $2,500 per year. So from the day that you initially pay the $5,000, 1 year from that date, you'll be required to pay $2,500 per year is to continue to make sure your software is updated, for you to continue to be a part of our community, our university that we're continuing to add more video content into that's giving you the knowledge and the resources necessary. And our mobile application that you're going to be on, our next fee is the $74 per return service fee. Every time that you submit a tax return through the Jumping Jack Tax software, there's going to be a $74 fee that is paid to Jumping Jack Taxes. And the last thing as well is the additional fees for the tax toolbox. You may need to get an LLC, which will cost some money. You may need to have a website that's set up, which will cost some money. You also got to get your marketing materials as well. And there's some tools that you need from your virtual tax pro. You need a printer, right? You may need a fax machine. You need a laptop. Some of these things you may already have. That's why when we say additional fees, I can only give a range of somewhere between $500 to $1,500 additional that you'll need over the course of time to get all the tools to run your virtual tax business.
For utilizing their software, for utilizing their app, and for being a part of their communities, and for Jumping Jack Tax University, which is really just a plethora of videos that they create. But besides all that, on top of the $5,000, on top of the $2,500 annual fee that you have to pay, you also are expected to have $1,000, $500 to $1,000 for additional business expenses. And this is what makes me upset about MLMs, is they try to simplify what they do. In reality, so he says you need 300 people in 4 months in order to make $75,000. What someone makes in a year. Okay, so he's like, $75,000 is your number that you want to make within the 4 months of doing this tax preparation. All you have to do is get 300 people. 300 people is just 75 people a month. And if you break that up, that's only 2 to 3 people a day for 30 days. So what that's saying is, even if you have to take no days off. You have to work every single day to attract 2 to 3 people to actually get their taxes done. Once you do that, then you might be able to make $75,000. None of this is guaranteed. But the money that you have to pay them, they don't do payment plans. You have to pay them up front. See, they get their money up front and you're supposed to get yours later, and you only get it if you work hard enough. So they place the responsibility on you. So when it goes left, because it is going to go left, they know that. They can say that it's not their fault because they gave you the tools to be successful and you didn't work hard enough. And then he's so manipulative with it. I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but now I'm understanding that he's one of those people who tries to act remorseful when he gets caught doing something that he had no damn business, so that he can keep his old good guy persona. Because he literally made a video praising one of his customers, someone who risked their savings on this fake ass business opportunity, okay, on gambling, essentially. He encouraged this person to take out a loan to be able to afford the tax preparation business.
So we just had a Jumping Jack Tax partner who went to her bank and took out a loan to actually start her tax business. And I just told her that was the most courageous thing she could have ever done. It's actually very brave and it's bold. And it's what every successful entrepreneur needs to have in order to win. I'm a big believer of using other people's money in order to get ahead. I love OPM.
Irresponsible, inappropriate, and disgusting for you to be advising people to take out debt to pay you when they don't have any guarantee that they will see any return on that investment. And then you go and you record a video encouraging other people to do the same, saying that you think it was brave and courageous that they took a chance on themselves. No, ho, they took a chance on you. You can do all of this yourself, but they make it seem like what they're offering is exclusive, that you need the resources that they have, and you don't. You have access to everything that they have the same way that they do. Dana then turned off or limited her comments to only the people she liked, child. She got mad at one of her followers for commenting on her picture, asking her, like, what the hell, you not responding to my emails? Danish tried to come for the girl and it's like, do you do that to bigger companies? Do you come on their Instagram and ask them, girl, answer the lady email. Don't try to get smart. Answer the lady email. You know you didn't answer that lady email. You trying to make it a thing. Answer that lady email. It's giving sneaky. It was just well presented. Beautiful people, good quality camera, good lighting, good background. Simple. And people fall for it every time. Another red flag is giving marriage advice for people who have not been married that damn long. And I'm not saying that you're not qualified to give advice on anything if you haven't been in that situation long or in a situation at all. But when you have not been married for 5 years and you trying to tell people how to look for a wife and you don't know if this is gonna work out, quite frankly. Yeah, let's get into it. I don't know how y'all saw that and was like, it felt genuine. If she feels like someone who thinks that she's better than everyone, it gives very much superiority complex. I don't like it, and I never have. And I have low-key been waiting for something to happen so that I could be right. And matter of fact, I think that I made a status on Facebook a couple years ago and was like, does anybody else get scammer vibes from Dana Chanel? Nobody said shit. It was crickets, bitch. But now it's a whole class action. So in conclusion, none of this is to say that I think that Dana Chanel and Prince Donnell are inherently bad people, but they are calculated and they are manipulative. They know what the fuck they're doing. Like, that's just point blank. And my thing with these types of people, with these Christian leaders, with these Christian public figures, when they get caught in some mess, it's always the devil busy, child, somebody praying on my damn. No, girl, sometimes you're right. Hold on. Yeah, you're right. The devil is busy. Too busy to be meddling in your mess. You did this all by yourself. Own that. Accountability is respectable. I feel like more people would be able to respect them if she came out and said, I messed up. But even then, this is more than a mess up, honey. You have stole thousands and thousands of dollars from people. I'm sorry it's not going to cut it. You need to cut the check. What I want you guys to walk away from this video knowing and remembering is that Christians are regular human beings. They are not superior celestial beings. That's not what no. They are humans. Humans with flaws, human with egos, with pride, with motivations, with desires, with greed. So you got to stop putting these people on this pedestal. You didn't need Dana Chanel's advice. You didn't need Prince Donnell's advice. You could have built that app. You could have used that money to actually build the app. You could have used that money to actually start a tax preparation business if that's what you wanted to do. But I don't believe anybody sitting around saying, damn, I dream of being a tax preparer. That's not what it was. But you wanted to take the opportunity because you believed in the person who was selling it to you. And their motivations for selling it matter. People like that, these social media Christian gurus are allowed to be criticized, corrected, and questioned just like everybody else. Bottom line, people know that using God is a weak point. People know that they can manipulate people with that people will let their guard down the moment they hear the Lord, the moment they do a little scripture or a little prayer. They know that the guard is going to go down and that it's easier to get in your pockets like that. Everything that say God ain't God. Dana Chanel and Prince Donnell need to be held accountable, whether that is in the court of law or whether that is in the court of Christ. Whoever courts, they need to be dealt with accordingly because this was wrong. I think that they owe all of their supporters a public apology. And if they don't, then that tells you everything that you need to know about this couple. So we will keep seeing what happens in the coming weeks. Keep your eye out. Tell me what you think about this topic in the comments. Make sure you're following me on Instagram so that you don't miss any of the stuff that I do in my daily life and all the stuff that I'm bringing to the channel. I would love for y'all to just follow me on everything. Please. I love you, and I hope you really liked this video. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next one.